Hey, welcome to World Code Updates. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The world was stunned. An entire planet of fans, athletes, and dreamers left speechless in a single moment. In a move that sent shockwaves through the sporting world, FIFA stripped the United States of its 2026 World Cup hosting rights. The news flashed everywhere: TVs, phones, radios, leaving millions in disbelief. Social media erupted, hashtags trended, and confusion reigned as people tried to process what had just happened. Years of meticulous planning, billions of dollars invested, and a dream that had inspired a generation of American soccer fans all shattered in an instant. Stadiums that had risen from the ground, built to host the world, now stood silent and unfinished. The United States, set to host the majority of matches and welcome millions of visitors, was suddenly out. The anticipation that had built up for years evaporated overnight. FIFA's decision, announced from their headquarters in Zurich, felt like a seismic shock. It wasn't just a bureaucratic move, it was a blow that reverberated through every corner of the sports world. The 2026 World Cup was supposed to be a celebration of unity, a tournament that would bring together the nations of North America. The United States was to be the centerpiece, the heart of the event, with cities across the country preparing to welcome the world. Now that vision was in ruins. Streets that were meant to be filled with celebration and color were left empty, banners crumpled and forgotten. Stadiums stood ready, cities prepared, fans counted down the days, until it all vanished. The infrastructure, the excitement, the hope for a new era in American soccer, all disappeared in a single announcement. Why now? With just months to go before the world's biggest sporting event, the timing seemed reckless, almost cruel. Questions swirled about what could have led to such a drastic decision at the 11th hour. The world watched as chaos unfolded, officials scrambled for answers, fans reeled in shock, and the biggest sporting event on the planet lost its main stage. The sense of loss was palpable, not just for Americans, but for soccer fans everywhere. The story shifted overnight from players and teams to politics and power. Heated debates erupted on television panels and in government halls, sparking controversies and conspiracy theories that would last for years. For American soccer, it was a devastating blow, one that threatened decades of progress. Young players, who had dreamed of seeing their heroes on home soil, were left with only disappointment and unanswered questions. The dream of cementing soccer in the American mainstream was gone, replaced by a sense of betrayal and heartbreak. The hope that this World Cup would finally make soccer a permanent part of American culture seemed to vanish overnight. The beautiful game had revealed its political side, and the consequences were only beginning. As the dust settled, one thing was clear: the story of the 2026 World Cup would be remembered not for the goals scored, but for the dreams stolen and the questions left unanswered. The emotional fallout was immediate and profound, rippling through communities, families, and the very heart of North American soccer culture. In a single moment, the hopes and dreams of millions were upended, leaving a continent divided by a single decision. In the US, disbelief quickly turned to anger and frustration. Fans in packed stadiums, bustling city streets, and even local youth clubs felt a deep sense of injustice, as if something precious had been taken from them. The sense of loss was palpable, echoing in conversations, social media posts, and the somber faces of supporters everywhere. It was more than just a sporting defeat. It was a national embarrassment, a public rejection that stung millions of Americans. The country, so often a leader on the world stage, now found itself grappling with a rare and very public setback. Meanwhile, north of the border, Canada erupted in astonished joy. The news spread like wildfire, igniting celebrations in cities and small towns alike. For many Canadians, it felt like a long-awaited validation, a moment when their passion for the sport was finally recognized on the world stage. Cities like Toronto and Vancouver, once considered supporting players in the soccer world, were now thrust into the global spotlight. The streets filled with cheering fans, waving flags, and spontaneous parades as the nation embraced its new role. Canada, with its smaller but fiercely loyal soccer following, suddenly found itself preparing to host the world's biggest tournament. The excitement was mixed with nerves, as the country realized the magnitude of what lay ahead. The contrast between the two nations was stark. U.S. officials, caught off guard, expressed shock and deep disappointment in press conferences, while Canada's Prime Minister called it a historic moment, a turning point for Canadian sports and national pride. Yet, even in celebration, many Canadians felt a sense of empathy for their American neighbors. They understood the pain of dashed hopes, and some fans held up signs of support, reminding everyone that the dream had once been shared. The shared dream of a united North American tournament was suddenly broken, testing the bond between the two nations. The flags of both countries, once flown side by side in anticipation, now symbolized both unity and division. As the initial shock faded, both countries were left to reflect on what had happened and what it meant for the future. In cafes, bars, and living rooms, fans debated, mourned, and tried to make sense of the new reality. The United Bid, once a powerful symbol of cross-border unity and cooperation, had become a story of winners and losers, of dreams realized and dreams deferred. Now, each nation faced the daunting task of navigating a future no one had imagined. The path forward was uncertain, filled with both opportunity and challenge. Overnight, the emotional landscape of North American soccer had changed forever, leaving both nations to ponder what comes next in this tale of two nations. The original plan was a North American masterpiece. The United 2026 bid, US, Canada, and Mexico, promised the most profitable World Cup ever. The US would host 60 of 80 matches, including all from the quarterfinals onward. Iconic stadiums across 11 US cities were ready for the spotlight. Canada and Mexico would host 10 matches each, mostly in the group stage. The bid showcased world-class infrastructure, football passion, and a vision of continental unity. Preparations moved smoothly, with the three nations working as one. It was a rare example of international cooperation in a divided world. No one foresaw that this united front would collapse just months before kickoff. FIFA President Gianni Infantino delivered the bombshell in Zurich, the official reason insurmountable legal and commercial disputes with the new U.S. laws threatened FIFA's tax exemptions and commercial control, deal breakers for FIFA. Disputes over broadcasting, sponsorship, and security guarantees added to the rift. Canada, by contrast, provided all the necessary assurances. Mexico's role remained unchanged. FIFA's message was clear: its rules are non-negotiable, even for superpowers. The fallout was instant. In U.S. cities, frustration boiled over. Millions spent on preparations now wasted. Fans protested, feeling betrayed as their World Cup dreams vanished. The travel and hospitality industries faced chaos, with billions in lost revenue. For host cities, it was a financial and emotional disaster. Meanwhile, Canada erupted in celebration. Toronto and Vancouver became the heart of the football world. The nation, once a minor player, now faced a monumental challenge. The government and soccer federation scrambled to prepare. Prime Minister Trudeau promised Canada would deliver a world-class event. The excitement was palpable, but so was the pressure. Behind the cheers, a frantic race to get ready had begun. Beneath FIFA's official statements lay a web of politics and money. Some saw the move as FIFA's power play, a response to years of tension with the US over corruption probes. The financial blow to the US was massive lost tourism, sponsorships, and city investments. American sponsors and businesses faced chaos. For Canada, the opportunity came with a huge price tag, billions in public funds, and a race against time. Debates erupted over whether the cost was worth it. The decision strained US-Canada relations, turning unity into tension. It also spotlighted the immense power of organizations like FIFA. The world began to question if these bodies had become too powerful. With just months to go, Canada faced an epic challenge. Hosting 60-plus matches meant expanding far beyond Toronto and Vancouver. New stadiums needed upgrades, and cities like Montreal and Edmonton were suddenly in play. Construction crews raced to meet FIFA's standards. Security, transportation, and accommodation plans had to be scaled up overnight. Volunteers, training sites, and logistics all had to be reimagined. The pressure on officials was immense. Failure wasn't an option. The world watched to see if Canada could pull it off. Success would be a legacy-defining moment for the nation. To truly grasp the long-term impact of recent events in North American soccer, we reached out to Dr. Simon Cooper, a renowned expert on the intersection of soccer and politics. His insights shed light on the deeper forces at play, far beyond the pitch. Dr. Cooper described FIFA's latest move as the single biggest power play in the history of modern sports, a bold maneuver that has sent shockwaves through the global soccer community and beyond. For FIFA, this wasn't just about organizing a tournament. It was a calculated effort to reassert its dominance on the world stage, especially after the United States challenged FIFA's authority and sovereignty in 2015 with high-profile investigations and legal actions. The message from FIFA was unmistakable. No nation, not even a global superpower like the US, can dictate terms to the rulers of world football. The organization is determined to remind everyone who truly holds the reins. Dr. Cooper believes that US soccer now stands at a pivotal crossroads. The choices made in the coming years could define the sport's trajectory in America for decades to come. The 2026 World Cup was originally envisioned as a catalyst for a new golden era of soccer in the United States, a chance to ignite widespread enthusiasm and investment. But now, with the recent controversies and power struggles, that momentum could stall, leaving the future uncertain. Some fans, disillusioned by the politics and drama, may choose to turn away from the sport. Yet, paradoxically, the core base of American soccer supporters could become even more passionate and vocal, rallying around their teams and demanding change. For Canada, however, the opportunity is nothing short of transformative. Hosting World Cup matches could elevate Canadian soccer to new heights, inspiring a generation and putting the nation firmly on the global soccer map. The impact could be profound, boosting youth participation, improving infrastructure, and leaving a legacy that lasts long after the final whistle. Canadian children may dream bigger, seeing a future in the sport that was once unimaginable. The event will also change how countries approach future bids. Governments will have to carefully weigh the cost of ceding some sovereignty to FIFA against the potential economic and cultural benefits of hosting such a prestigious event. The drama surrounding 2026 sets a powerful new precedent. FIFA makes the rules, and nations, no matter how influential, must decide whether to play along or risk being left out of the world's biggest sporting spectacle. The stakes for soccer's future in North America have never been higher. The decisions made now will shape the sport's popularity, its culture, and its place in society for generations. The world is watching closely, eager to see which nations will adapt to the new realities of global football, and which will struggle to keep up, potentially getting left behind as the game evolves. One thing is clear, the power dynamics of global football have shifted for good. The crossroads is here, and the choices made today will echo far into the future of the beautiful game. As the dust settles, football's landscape in North America is forever changed. The 2026 World Cup, once a symbol of unity, is now a story of division and power. The legacy will be shaped by boardroom battles, not just goals on the field. US, Canada, and Mexico face a new reality. Collaboration replaced by tension and opportunity. For Canada, it's a chance to build a soccer legacy. For the US, a test of resilience. The sport's growth must now come from grassroots passion, not a World Cup boost. The beautiful game reflects our world, complex, political, and unpredictable. As Canada prepares and the US looks on, the world waits for the next chapter. New champions will rise, but the shock of 2025 will echo for years. The lesson in football, power and friendship are always in play.